Hi guys, Mike and Mike's Auto Care. I hope everybody's well out there. So as you know, we do a variety of vehicles from old classics through to modern cars, 4x4s, camper vans, horse boxes and motorbikes. Anything in the detailed, caravans, pretty much everything. So we're going to focus on this. It's a Suzuki GSX-R 750. It's having a full detail. We want to end up with a nice ceramic coating on at the end. There's a lot of work to do before that, so I thought we'd have a quick walk around first just to show you everything. So if you look at the front, obviously it's a little bit of a murder scene. Obviously where it takes all the bugs and everything. All this is going to need a decent, thorough decontamination. Get it nice and clean. Ultimately it will be machine polished to get rid of all these swirls. Get it as best we can, get it surgically clean, and then apply the ceramic at the end. I have just removed the decals off of the visor. That's gone. We're also going to be removing just this, it's not in keeping with the bike. The gentleman wants that removing, so we're going to remove that as well. And then you can see obviously the marks on the tank. I have took some pictures. It's in different lights, it's hard to see, but where the rider sits and the leathers rub against the tank, you do get that kind of marring on the paint. As you can see there, it's kind of gone quite dull and flat, so that will need obviously addressing. Bring that back and then get a nice ceramic coating over the top to seal it up. But a few things to bear in mind. So when we're doing a motorbike, it's different with different bikes obviously. I used to do a lot of motocross years ago, and I used a pressure washer because it was caked in mud. This is a bit different. We're not hitting it with a pressure washer. One of the main reasons is I wouldn't want to wash the wheels with a pressure washer, because there is a chance if you're driving that water in at pressure you can get into wheel bearings possibly with the water, and we don't want to risk that. So it will be done. I use a watering can for a lot of the rinsing, and then a hose pipe with a rose on the end, just like in the garden, so you can get different kind of jets, different variables, just to be able to rinse off. Another thing to bear in mind as well, obviously it's a leather seat. The seat's going to get a thorough clean. It is going to be protected, but be mindful of the dressing you put on. You don't want something too slippy. Obviously when the rider's on there, you don't want to be slipping about, so that's something we're very aware of. Another thing to bear in mind, obviously that's the battery. So we're going to we'll bag that battery up, make sure all that's covered and sealed. Moving around this side, when we do the exhaust or when we're cleaning anything, we don't want any water getting down that pipe. It's slightly different to a car. Obviously the angle of that pipe, the water's going to run all the way down. We don't want to be filling that up with water, so we'll put a bag over the end of the pipe for protection. And at the very end of the detail, that's when we'll do the chrome dressing. What other areas can I show you? So inside is not just what you sort of can see when you're looking at it initially, it's what you can't see as well. So for example, at the bottom of the engine block there inside, can you see the dirt and the grease on there? All that's going to need to be cleaned. So one thing we do if you're to clean it, it's quite difficult to be able to get in there to dry it. It's difficult to clean, but with a detailing brush as we can. So we use an airline. Basically, we don't leave any water on there. So we generally will go in, we'll give it a nice clean, and then we'll get the airline in, we'll blast all that off, make sure we get it nice and dry. Otherwise, you kind of end up getting that kind of Ferris look to it, where you get the fur, a bit like same on the engine on the car. If you leave it wet, it doesn't give it a nice finish. So we'll get that nicely clean. It's a job I love. I love intricate work. I love detailing engines. I love doing motorbikes. Love all the work we do, obviously, but it's nice to have something just a little bit different. We've done a few bikes over the last 12 months. The gentleman who got this bike, he noticed that we hadn't actually done a video on a bike detail. So final walk around, final inspection, and then I can get cracking. Yeah, we're going to need to dress this chrome. Obviously it does get faded over time. The pegs aren't a problem. Something to bear in mind, if you've got rubber pegs, you don't want to be dressing the rubber pegs with anything that's slippery obviously. I know it sounds common sense, but it's surprising when you use a cleaning product you don't realise afterwards how slippy it can make it, and obviously that would be extremely dangerous. So if there were rubber pegs, they'd have a thorough clean, but they wouldn't be dressed. All the other rubber will be. That's it for now. I'm going to crack on. GSX-R 750 detail, Mike's Auto Care. Okay, so we did the detail on the Suzuki GSX-R 750. We did everything we said we would do. We've got the tools there to remove. We'll put the photos up afterwards of the engine, all the pipes, any perishables, any rubbers that are inside, they've all been treated. Ceramic coating all the way around. Scratch corrections getting done. We'd like to walk around this side. Perhaps we stand back over there a little bit. So there was an awful lot of rash here just from where you near your knees on the leathers and they start rubbing. You get a lot of haze and a lot of rash, so all that's been removed. Lower down there's quite a few scratches. They've all been removed. So we've done the very best we can. As I say, it's a 17-year-old bike. I've been active for 17 years, it's pretty fantastic. The gentleman's going to be collecting very shortly. Matrix that we put on there, that's actually an 8-year warranty matrix. So with a maintenance roughly every 9 months for a recharge, which is very simple, and then just a pH neutral wash. That's all he's going to need. It'll just keep it looking like that. So absolutely fantastic. Really pleased with it. So we'll get a load of photos now as we walk round, and then look forward to the gentleman coming to collect it, and on to the next one. So that's it. That's the detail on the Suzuki GSX-R 750.